Yes, YouTube, welcome back to another video inside the Crutchley Palace. Again, we've had a bit of move around with the shelves. Still not fully decided on how I want it to look. And in the coming weeks, there's going to be some very special items added. So make sure to keep tuned to this channel. Today's video, we're going to take a look at the 3 top priced dartboards you can currently buy. There's a lot of debate and questioning on what dartboard is the best. I'm here to give you a rundown of each individual board to either help you choose your next dartboard, or maybe there's one you need to avoid. What dartboards are we looking at today then? First up, the Unicorn Eclipse Ultra 2.0. The Blade 6 Triple Core Carbon. The Target Tour board. I'm going to be basing each dartboard on 4 different categories, giving them a rating and breaking them down nice and easily for you to understand. Those 4 categories are aesthetics, performance, self-healing, and softness and quietness. Each dartboard will be given an honest review, and please remember, this is my opinion. You might have a different opinion, and that is completely fine. I'm just trying to give a broad and honest view for each dartboard to help you guys in your decision making when it comes to a dartboard. Let's start with aesthetics then. The Target Tour, and in my opinion, the best looking dartboard you can buy. It's symmetrical, meaning that no matter how many times you give it a rotate, it's always going to look the same on the outside. The colours used are not too vibrant, they're not too in your face. It's a nice silver spider on the board. It sits nicely on the wall. It's not too aggressive. I'm going to give this board a 4.5 out of 10 for aesthetics. The Blade 6 Triple Core. This board for me is very aesthetically pleasing because it's what the professionals use. And if the pros use it, I want to use it. It's not aesthetically pleasing as the Tour, but it's still got that silver spider. It's got the PDC markings. The only thing it doesn't have is that symmetrical printing, which might be an issue for some of you guys. In my opinion, this board right here, 4 out of 5. Sadly, falling into a short last place in this category is the Unicorn Eclipse Ultra 2.0. The reason being, the black spider. It chips away very easily and makes it look very tacky. The spider on the outside just doesn't really look like a number ring, and I feel like the orange on the symmetrical printing, it's just way too vibrant. It's way too in my face. It's a little bit distracting whilst I'm playing. So I'm going to give the Unicorn Eclipse Ultra 2.0 a 3 out of 5. Next up, we're going to talk performance. Now, it is worth being noted, each dartboard I'm previewing to you guys now has had the same amount of use. I've had 2 months use on the Blade 6 Triple Core, 2 months use on the Unicorn Eclipse Ultra 2.0, and I'll pay it its dues. The Tour has had about 3 weeks longer than the rest of the boards. So we'll go with 3 months on the Target Tour, just as a good reference for you guys. Performance on the Blade 6 Triple Core, as you can see, is very, very good. Very little sisal has been pulled out of the dartboard. The trebles, the ones that have been used, still look rather intact, which is always a good sign. The depth of the wires is perfect. There's no bulging of the spider. The numbering is still intact. Very, very well performed. This board is getting a 4.5 out of 5. Missing out marginally on the top spot is the Target Tour. The performance of it has been good, but as you can see, there's noticeable sisal being pulled out of the board. As well as that, the trebles look visually more used than the Blade 6 Triple Core, but it's not terrible. It's not awful, and I would still be happy if this was after 3 months use. So for that, the Target Tour is getting a 4 out of 5. Coming in last then is the Unicorn Eclipse Ultra 2.0. The black wires are chipped, sisal's been pulled. It looks like the sisal's been chipped. I've only used darts. Yeah, for 2 months use, I expected a lot more from the Unicorn Eclipse Ultra 2.0. It still performed relative, but not as good as the Tour and Blade 6. So for that reason, it's getting a 3 out of 5. Does self-healing on a dartboard matter to you? Now, when I ask people about dartboards, this seems to be the deal breaker when it comes to buying one. For me, a dartboard is made to be thrown at. That means I don't really care how well it heals. I just don't want chunks of sisal and chunks of the board coming out with every dart. If there's a little hole left after the dart's thrown, that really doesn't bother me. So please take this into consideration when I talk about the self-healing process of each board. As always, I'm going to be honest and I'm going to give my honest opinion. But for you guys, this might be the deal breaker. So listen closely. As no shock, the Target Tour comes in at number 1 for the most self-healing board. Target have taken pride into that factor in this board, and it shows. I think every single dart I threw at this board, as soon as I pulled it out, there was no markings, no trace left behind, which when you're playing is perfect if you like an aesthetic board. As we've seen on the aesthetic part of this segment, the Tour also won that, so two go hand in hand. However, you can see noticeable sisal around the dartboard, which could be due to the points that I use, but there's never a hole left in this dartboard. Therefore, for self-healing, the Target Tour is getting a 5 out of 5. The sisal is soft and it doesn't leave any holes. So the Unicorn Eclipse Ultra 2.0 is coming in at second place. The only reason it's behind the Tour is because there's noticeably more sisal being pulled out of the board. Because the sisal is so soft in the Unicorn Eclipse Ultra 2.0, you do get a lot of chunks come with it, regardless of the points you use. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, I'll leave that up to you. The Unicorn Eclipse Ultra 2.0, 4 out of 5. The Blade 6 Triple Core, however, the self-healing isn't its strong point. You can probably see from a distance there's holes left in the board when I've pulled them out, which for some people might be a buggery and might seem like something that would put them off buying a dartboard. As I said in the introduction to this segment, it doesn't really bother me. Dartboards are made to be hit and they're made to be thrown at, which means they're going to leave holes. As long as they're not terribly pulling out the sisal or ruining the board, I'm not bothered. So taking into consideration the viewer's aspect, the Blade 6 Triple Core is going to get a 3.5 out of 5. A dartboard is usually hung upon a wall, and if you've not got the money to pay for a whisper or any sort of soundproofing, you're going to want to choose the board that is the softest or the quietest to reduce that noise. So, what board is the softest and quietest? In my opinion, it's the Unicorn Eclipse Ultra 2.0. The sisal used in this board is as soft as butter. Every time the dart enters the dartboard, it's absorbed really, really well, which creates little to no noise. The only negative to that is that a lot of the sisal does get pulled out because it's loose and soft. But in terms of the quietness and the softness, this is your go-to board. And because I see it as the best, and there's no dartboard that can compare to the softness or quietness, it's getting a 5 out of 5. Now, this might seem controversial, but in second place, it's the Blade 6 Triple Core. The clue's in the name, triple core. The sisal has been packed in with a dense amount of sisal, which means that every dart is absorbed beautifully. It might seem tough on the eye, it might seem tough to feel, but believe me, when it's up on the wall, this is one of the quietest dartboards I have used behind the Unicorn board. It's a close one, but it's a 4 out of 5 for the Blade 6 Triple Core. The last place for the Target Tour in this video, and it comes with the quietness and softness. Because Target have focused so hard onto that self-healing system, compacting the sisal, making it really tough and dense, it just comes in as one of the hardest boards that I have used. And when it's up on the wall, it doesn't really soften the noise. It's quiet, it's soft, but compared to the two other boards, it's just not as quiet and soft. So don't take it in a bad way. The Tour still has its quietness. It's just not as quiet as a mouse. So the Target Tour, for me, gets a 3.5 out of 5. That's a main category breakdown for you then. The 4 most important parts of a dartboard, in my opinion, broken down to hopefully give you a better insight into what dartboard you should choose next. Before we end, I'm going to go through 2 pros and 2 cons of each dartboard. Starting with the Tour then. The pros are the aesthetics. It looks superb and the self-healing is next to none. 2 great pros for this dartboard. However, when it comes to negatives, I'm getting a lot of off-centre bullseyes. I've had off-centre bullseyes. I know a lot of people that have had off-centre bullseyes. I don't know whether it's a bad batch or whether it just is the Tour itself, but it is a negative in my eyes. And alongside that, it's not very soft and quiet when hung up on the wall. It might be different if you own a whisper or soundproofing system, but for me, I've found that it's one of the hardest dartboards and toughest dartboards when on the wall. Blade 6 triple core, the pros are that its performance is next to none. It performs better than any dartboard in my opinion. It's what the pros use, which is another pro. If the professionals use it, I want to use it. It's not up on stage for no reason. They're clearly up there for the right reasons. The negatives though, it's a non-symmetrical board, and I know when it comes to rotating, it looks fancy, it looks nice when the board is symmetrical. So we're taking that as a con. It might not be as soft as the other dartboards. It is quite tough, but it is quiet. Don't get them too mistaken. It's quite tough, but it's still quiet. It's a con because tough dartboards could mean bounce outs, could mean if you've not got strong points, they might repel. It's not happened to me a lot, but it's a potential con. The Unicorn Eclipse Ultra 2.0. It's one of the softest dartboards I have ever used, and I think it probably will be the softest dartboard I will ever use. Very, very well done from Unicorn in that aspect. You've created a soft and quiet board. As well as that, they've got the symmetrical printing, so every time you give it a rotate, it's going to look the same, which I know a lot of you will love. The negatives of it is the black spider. It gets chipped way too easy and it just makes the board look tacky. And if I'm paying a premium price, I want a premium board. Yes, out of the box, it's one of the most aesthetically pleasing spiders you can visually see, but after a couple of uses, it just looks a little bit tacky. It's the only top of the range dartboard not to come with a fitted rotor lock system, which for me, it's one of the best things about a dartboard. Being able to lock it in place so it's not shifting side to side every time you pull the darts out is a big thing for me. So not having a fitted rotor lock system is a negative. It does come with a fit your own rotor lock system, but if you don't have a manual drill, it's not the most ideal thing in the world. Not knocking any of these boards, they are all priced at the price for a reason. They're all very good dartboards. However, for me, the dartboard I will choose and have always chosen and always gone back to is the Blade 6 triple core. For me, symmetrical outer printing isn't a make or break. I don't mind it. It's what the professionals use. It makes my setup look a little bit more professional, and the dartboard lasts so much longer. I've had my Blade 6 triple cores over 6 months before, which for me, I need that. For someone that plays darts for 2-3 hours every single day, I need the longevity of a dartboard. I don't mind that it leaves a few holes. I don't mind that it's a little bit tough, but for me, that's my favourite dartboard. I've given you my favourite, but what do the scores say? Well, on screen right now, you will get a visual leaderboard of the rankings I've given the dartboards upon each individual category. That doesn't necessarily mean that the top of the category is my favourite, because it isn't. You know that the favourite is the one on my wall at the moment. It wouldn't be on my wall if it wasn't my favourite. So, what I want to know is, what board do you use? I know there's going to be people screaming in the comments right now, so I'm going to give some honourable mentions to the MPQ board, a great starter dartboard. Not the best, but it's great to start. The Goat Everscore, if you're looking for a mid-range board, unreal. And the Precise 180 Endorphin board. All brilliant dartboards, but I wanted to make this video purposely on the top of the range boards. Let me know what dartboard you're currently chucking at. I just want to say a massive thank you to every single one of you that supports, subscribes, likes, follows, all that malarkey. You mean the world. You're making a dream a reality. Every day I'm pushed to make better and more enjoyable content for you guys, and I love it. The support is great. The support network we're building is even better. As always, have an amazing day and enjoy whatever you've got left to do in your day, be it sleeping, working, eating, whatever. Until the next one, ya BOSH.
Like and subscribe.
BOSH.
Bye, friends.